Welcome into the den. My first shave video with my new camera. Hopefully it looks a little crisper. Red Planet is now called Red Planet 369. The fragrance is exactly the same. He has just changed the label and added 369, and he actually did that with the previous release. I do believe that this is the second time that they have re-released Red Planet with this new label and with the 369. It was a couple of years ago that Doug changed it. So this is in, what I'm using is the old label, and it's in the Crown King formula, not CK6, but I still love Crown King. Gonna knock it down with my Muhle and a second use Lord Platinum. I'll be topping that off with the matching splash and the matching Star Jelly. That is in the old tube, but it's still the exact same formulation that you have in the bottles today. Apply a little bit of the cube here. Let's get into this. So I love Red Planet. I really, really do. I don't use it as often as I might like, and that is because my wife and Emily don't care for it. The reason why they don't care for it is it has a little bit of an old school vibe to it, a little bit of the muskiness, and that's something that neither one of them are too particular about. However, I love old school fragrances. This isn't like so hardcore old school. If you're familiar with Black Shroud, Thought Forms, there was another one. Oh, The Watcher. That one was slightly musky too. I would put it, in terms of musk, I would put it into the same kind of category as like Thought Forms or The Watcher, to where there's a musk presence, but it's not overly musky at all, in my opinion. To my left over here, excuse me, to my left over here, I have a bowl for dipping my razor in. I'll be using that instead of a sink. My amber Aerolite, my Rodak bowl. The notes in this guy. So we have sandalwood, frankincense, myrrh. So basically 3 woods starting this off. I love this fragrance. Patchouli, rose, cedarwood, amberette. Amberette is a musk, and amber. Amberette is a plant, so it's like a vegan musk. Musk is not derived from a whale or anything else, or an animal. It's also known as musk mallow, so like marshmallow, but musk mallow. Put a couple of pictures right up here of what the plant looks like. And when it's not, like I was saying, it's not this hardcore musky fragrance. And part of that is because he's using the amberette in this for a musk. And amberette, when compared to the other musks that we might be familiar with, is a warm, smooth musky. It's not a big, strong powerhouse. It's slightly sweet, slightly floral. And I mean like slightly sweet and slightly floral. So I whipped it up just enough to get the brush loaded. Let's get her going. Oh, I forgot. Wait, 1 second. My mirror's still down here on the floor. Almost. Pardon me. There we go. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. Hope you guys have been doing well. Did I already say that? I'm doing great. It is late, but I wanted to get this video in. I had planned on doing this review the weekend that 369 came back, but we had that storm, the ice storm that hit. If you saw that, my original plan was that Sunday I was going to go up the mountain and do my shave in the snow, and I really thought that was going to create like a great contrast for the shave, especially for the photos. But I was wanting to get up to the snow. Well, the snow didn't come down to me, but all that freezing rain and ice did. So I didn't make it up there, and getting up there this weekend or anytime soon wasn't going to happen. So I just figured, you know what? We're just going to make this a den shave. Good enough. So Red Planet 369 is still available, and he has released that in the full kit and caboodle, my Muhle Rocca, with that second use Lord Platinum. Dip it in my bowl over here. The opening of this fragrance is absolutely fantastic. I got it on the back of my arm right here. There's a muskiness to it right from the get-go, but you get that sandalwood, and it is a rich, creamy, warm, woody, and slightly spicy sandalwood. The frankincense, a touch of pininess to it, earthy, almost citrus-like. I love this fragrance. The wife gives it a 3, Emily gives it a 2. So for those of you keeping track at home, and the Emily and Alexa score, it's a 3 and a 2, which is actually pretty good considering that it is a musky fragrance. They like the modern, fresh, clean, sweet, aquatic type fragrances. This second use Lord Platinum is doing great in this Muhle Rocca. I'm trying to remember what I used it in last night. It'll come to me. I already put it. Oh, my Rex Envoy. That takes us down into the myrrh, and I can't help but wonder if the myrrh is actually adding the citrusiness to it, or what exactly is going on there with it. I sometimes think I'm getting hints of smoke from that myrrh. That is a characteristic of myrrh. And then it could be adding a little bit of that slightly spiciness that I'm picking up, as well as like balsamic undertones. Fantastic opening to this fragrance. The splash, like all the PAA splashes, is going to last you all day. 10-12 hours easy. A minimum of 8. For me, though, I can get an entire day, 10-12 hours from Red Planet. The patchouli, the cedar, the amberette, and the amber, just really help to carry this fragrance, along with that frankincense and the myrrh. I mean, we have some really anchor heavy notes in this that are just going to help a fragrance last all day. Patchouli, earthy, musky, and again, slightly sweetness. This is not a sweet fragrance. Oh, wrong. Right here I have Muhle Rocca, that new release from Phoenix, from Hendrix Classics. It's late. Did I tell you guys how late it is? It's 2 a.m. Had a great night with my girls, though. We've been watching the 7th season of Doctor Who. That's the last season with Matthew Smith. We're on like episode 13 or something. We're nearing the end of it. So that patchouli is fantastic. The rose, I get hints of it. It doesn't really stand out as rose. I think the rose is adding a softness to this fragrance, a balance between all that wood and resin and the muskiness that we get from that patchouli and the amberette. So good. It is a classic masculine fragrance. Not towards like grandpa. I mean, depending on how old you are. But for me, this is something more like what my dad would wear and not my grandpa. I'm in my mid-40s. Phoenix Douglas, he refers to as like a Martian barbershop. And that's one of the things I love with Phoenix is that they do a lot of, like what if scenarios. And so this is a Martian barbershop. If there was a barbershop on Mars, this is what it might smell like. And yeah, that's a stretch. It's just having fun, right? The storytelling that comes in with PAA and their fragrances, like the 369. I'll talk about that in a second. For those who might be new to Phoenix shaving that aren't quite familiar with what that 369 means. The cedarwood, I don't really pick out cedar at all by itself. I think it's kind of doing a lot what the rose is doing, adding a softness to it, extending the length of it, and just adding an overall warmness to it. This is a warm fragrance, perfect for winter, perfect for early spring, all of fall, really. If you like a classic fragrance and these notes sound good to you, this is a must-have. If you don't like a classic fragrance, this is probably worth passing on. You got that ambrit, which we talked about, and then amber. And I think that amber is, also adding a softness to it and extending the life of it. So 369, that is from Tesla, and you can see 369 throughout the Phoenix universe, if you will. It's been used numerous times in different ways, in Phoenix stories, in the books that Douglas writes, to artwork. The Hotel Cecil key, that's room 369, and it has nothing to do with Hotel Cecil. That is just 369 reoccurring in the Phoenix universe. Just like the goldfish. Have you ever noticed that there's goldfish on different labels? Droid, there's a bunch of them. I think even the most recent, what was that? Well, anyways, it's on a lot of them. So the 369 doesn't really mean anything about the fragrance at all. It is just Doug's way of separating this old label to the new label and just modernizing the label, essentially, like he's done with so many of their soap sets. Give me real quick. I'm going to go rinse this off in the bathroom, and I'll be right back. So essentially the 369 just becomes, an Easter egg. I'm going to apply the alum now. I've always wanted to add the solid cologne and EDP of this. I never really have, though, just because it would be one more fragrance that I wouldn't be able to wear too often around the wife. And these aftershave colognes, if you decant them, they're just as good as any EDT out there when it comes to projection and longevity and that kind of thing. And I do that a lot. If you guys have never seen, I buy these little bottles. This is Han Polo right here, but I decant. That's exactly what I have. A whole bunch of them. There's like at least 12 that I have at any one time. There's two right there. There's another one the wife isn't crazy about because it's got that old school vibe to it. Same with like Hotel Cecil. So I decant them, and a lot of times people wouldn't know. Like if you walked up to them, they didn't know any better. They're not going to think you're wearing aftershave. It's EDT. Good stuff, Maynard. Damn good stuff. I am excited to get my hands on the latest release, the Casa Perfecto. That's Spanish for almost perfect. I'm trying to remember. I'm sure I have smelled Curve. That is inspired by Curve for Men from the 1990s. And we'll be reviewing that, but I don't have my hands on it yet. I'm expecting it Monday. I do like the label. If you guys haven't seen the label for the soap, it's kind of got like I don't know how to describe the green color to it, but it's right up my alley because it's got a catcher on it and he's got two fingers up calling for the curveball. So I think that's super freaking cool and not something that they've done. In fact, I'm pretty sure this is the first label with baseball on it. Star Jelly lasts forever. This here is my third bottle of Mysterium Serum. Mysterium Serum does have a shelf life, as to where this, I have not seen a shelf life for it yet. What Mysterium Serum will do is, after a couple of years, if you have it like 3 years, 2-3 years, it'll just kind of get this little bit of a noticeable smell. It's not like a bad smell, and it's not a smell that lasts. It's just a smell that tells me that I need to get to using it up, and it's usually about the time that I'm at the bottom of it, because the bottle will last me a couple of years. But Star Jelly, so far, I haven't seen it change in consistency. I haven't seen the smell alter at all. It stays just like that. I do miss these old bottles. I like the pump bottles, and there's advantages to both of them. But the thing I don't like about the pump bottle, and this is the only thing I don't like about the pump bottle, is when you get down to the bottom of them, it's so hard to get the last little bits out. So that's my only complaint with pump bottles versus these, gravity fed. I know there's a name, but whatever you call the style of bottle, to where you just, squeeze it and it comes out the bottom. Anyways, it's nothing big, right? It's just a little something to bitch about. I want to thank you guys for joining me. The link in the description is an affiliate link. So if you use that, just a heads up that that's an affiliate link. Other than that, I paid for everything in this video, I do reckon. And, well, Santa Claus gave me the razor a couple of years ago. Thank you again, Santa. Thanks for hanging out, guys. It's the little big things. It really is. I got a lot of little things to be thankful for, like my lights, my Wi-Fi, and my warmth, and now my new cell phone. Take care. I'll see you guys next time.